Here are some crazy things that happened at fast food restaurants. Up first, when this dude was in high school, he worked at a McDonald's inside of a Walmart. Well, there was one Walmart employee that would come in every day to order 2 fish fillet sandwiches with extra tartar sauce. Well, on this particular day, the Walmart employee comes in and orders, hey man, yeah, the usual. Hey, you got it, bro. When he got his 2 fish fillets with the extra sauce, he took a bite and decided that there was too much sauce, man. He then threw both of the sandwiches at this kid's face. What the heck, man? The Walmart employee then left and this kid tried to forget about it. Well, a couple of hours later, the Walmart employee was being walked back into the McDonald's by his manager. He has something he wants to say. You have something you want to say, don't you? I'm sorry. Excuse me? I'm sorry for throwing the sandwiches at you. Thank you. We're so sorry, it won't happen again. Okay, yeah, no problem. The Walmart then banned him from ever going into that McDonald's ever again. Up next, this person worked at a popular burger chain. You know how the burger patties sometimes look like this? They're all frozen together with sheets in between them. Well, one day this guy walks in and he sees his coworkers separating these burger patties, but not in a way you would think, or in a way that's very sanitary. They were just bashing them on the grimy floor until they all fell apart. They would then pick them off the floor and put them right on the grill. That's disgusting. This girl was being trained to work at a breakfast spot. On this day, she was being trained on how to put the waffle batter inside the waffle maker. As she was watching her manager demonstrate, she saw her manager's Band-Aid fall off right into the waffle batter. Yeah, it's just, you know, you kind of like, your Band-Aid's in the batter. Oops. You pour it right in. She just took her Band-Aid out and still used the batter to make waffles. Again, that's nasty. This one's crazy. This guy was a shift manager at an ice cream spot. One day, he walked into the freezer and he saw 2 of his employees peeing inside the ice cream mix. He was livid. He kicked them out of the ice cream shop and he had to disinfect the entire freezer. When the general manager finally showed up at the store, he thought she would be proud of him, or just as angry as he was. Instead, she said, "You've got to be kidding me. Why would you kick them out? We're short-staffed today. And why would you throw away that perfectly good ice cream mix? Ma'am, they peed in it. The customers don't know that, do they?" Later that day, he quit. Absolutely nuts. This kid became a legend. It was a high school in a very small town. It was about halfway through the year, and this kid randomly started wearing kilts to school every single day. Well, obviously, he was bullied immediately. "Hey, nice kilt, man." But instead of getting offended, all he would say was, "Hey, thanks. I was kidding, dude. You look super dumb." Well, I disagree. Alright, have a good one. Still, for a while, every day, he was bullied. "Nice kilt." "Thank you so much." "I was just kidding. You look stupid. It's really embarrassing for you." "Oh, well, I disagree." After a few months, it got to a point where people stopped bullying him. "It's Kilt Kid. Should we bully him?" "I kinda changed my mind. He's so confident. Look at him." It makes me want to wear a kilt. The next day, Kilt Kid walks into the school wearing his kilt. Day after day, more and more kids began wearing kilts to school. What an absolute legend. This kid had a horrible lunchroom experience. He was in 1st grade and it was lunchtime. The school was serving popcorn chicken that day. But this school was kind of weird. They didn't have ketchup packets for students to take. Instead, the vice principal would pass ketchup bottles down the tables. Kids would take how much they needed and keep it going. Well, when the bottle got to this kid, he accidentally poured a lot of ketchup on his plate. The vice principal saw this. "You." "Yeah, that's a lot of ketchup." "It was an accident." "You're gonna finish it, right?" "Yeah, of course I'm gonna eat all my chicken." "You're gonna finish that ketchup, right?" "What?" "You're gonna eat all of that ketchup, and if you don't, you're going to the principal's office." When the popcorn chicken was gone, there was still a crap ton of ketchup on his plate. So, he had to eat it with a spoon. Keep going. Keep going. That night when he got home, he told his mom what happened. The mom called the school, and the vice principal that made him eat that ketchup was fired. My name is Mike, and today's my first day at a new school. Oh, I forgot to mention I'm a bully, and I plan to be the biggest bully here. Are you a bully? Yeah, are you? Yeah, today's my first day. I'm Mike. Hey, I'm Chad. Nice to meet you, man. So, who's easy pickings around here? I love to bully that guy. How about that, dude? That's Kyle. I wouldn't bully him if I were you. It's not worth it. Yeah, right, it's always worth it. I'm gonna bully him right now. Hey, loser. Who are you? I'm Mike. I'm the new bully here, and I'm gonna make your life a living hell. Oh, really? Just like how you make your parents' life a living hell? Oh, I'm sorry, should I say parent? I'm sure your mom doesn't even know who your dad is. Wait, what? You donkey-looking, big-head, hat-wearing fool. I bet you eat cereal with water because your dad never came home with the milk. You suck, man. Well, you suck more. For less. I told you, bro. I miss my old school. This guy messed up. He was seeing this girl. She had 2 kids of her own, and they'd been dating for a few months. Well, he was over at their house one morning, and he wanted to make her kids breakfast. All right, who wants breakfast? Me! I love breakfast, yes. All right, I'll whip something up. He goes to the pantry and he finds a box of pancake mix. He puts it in a bowl, makes the pancake batter, and cooks up a huge plate of hot, tasty pancakes. These are the best pancakes ever. Seriously, they're delicious. I guess you like them, they're almost gone. He figured since there was some more pancake mix left, he would make them a couple more pancakes before breakfast was over. So he goes to the pantry, takes out the pancake mix, opens it, and notices, oh my god, there were tons and tons of maggots inside the pancake mix. He says he has no idea how he didn't realize it the first time. He never told those kids or their mom what happened. But to this day, he still feels bad about feeding them maggot pancakes. That's nasty. The person that shared this story said that one day they were sitting in math class, and one kid got up to use the pencil sharpener. Up to this point, this kid was pretty normal. He had a good amount of friends, and he never did anything too crazy. But after he finished sharpening his pencil, he snuck up behind the teacher, who was very focused writing stuff down, so he didn't even notice. He then took out a lighter and lit the teacher's hair on fire. After the teacher patted the fire out of his hair, he looked at the student and asked, "Why did you do this?" It wasn't me. A spark flew out of the light switch and lit your hair on fire. That's not true, mister. We all saw him light your hair on fire. It wasn't the light switch at all. Obviously, that kid was then expelled. Later, when he was asked why he did it, he replied, "I've always wanted to see a human burn." That kid is now grown up, and he's in prison for life for a different crime. This kid had the best comeback ever. He was in the 4th grade, and he was a very shy kid. Well, one day in class, one of the popular girls was making fun of him. Look at Billy. Hey, Billy, why are you so weird? What, you have nothing to say to me? Such a weird guy. Well, the teacher noticed this and chimed in. Hey, Stacy, be nice to him. He's actually very smart. He could be your boss one day. And without missing a beat, the kid replies, "No thanks. I don't want to be a pimp when I grow up."
You smell like my mom.
Hey Kyle, I heard you tell Stacy you think you're smarter than me. Okay, Chad, that's cause I am. Yeah, right, dude. What makes you think that, idiot? Probably the fact that you failed every single one of your classes last year. That's it, loser. I've had enough of your crap. You want to fight me? You know what? I think I do. You're not gonna do anything. You're a loser. Oh, Chad, you are wrong. Yeah, then? What are you gonna do? Huh? What are you gonna do? I'm gonna slap you so hard it'll power a small village. Yeah, right. Granny, do you think the lights will ever turn back on? Hopefully one day, sweetheart. But this town is so poor, we have to use candles for now. The lights! Thank you. Whoever did this, you made our lives so much better. This high school freshman English teacher was kinda crazy. Whenever students wouldn't be quiet in class, he would straight up cuss them out in front of everybody. And if that didn't work, he had a backup plan. So I told her that no, we cannot be friends. I think you're a baddie. And she told me that she thinks I'm ugly. So I think that's not fair. I'm very handsome. Hey, Kevin, this is the second time I'm asking you to be quiet today. You know what happens now. Oh no. If students didn't listen after being cussed out, he would take the chalkboard eraser and chuck it at them as hard as he could. He didn't do this to inflict pain. He did this because he knew that chalkboard erasers would leave a mark on their clothing. So when the misbehaving students left after class was over, everyone would know who pissed off the English teacher.
Hey, yo, look at Kevin.
He messed you up, Kevin.
You're still ugly, Kevin.
One day, this preschool teacher saw a 4-year-old playing with something shiny. Johnny, what is that? It's nothing. Let me see that. Let me see that. It was a diamond ring. Where did you get this? It was on Mommy's dresser. And why did you take it? Because I want to give it to Stacy. I'm in love with her. You can't be giving things like that away. I'm gonna keep it, and I'm gonna give it to your mom when she picks you up, okay? 2 days later, that teacher sees Stacy playing with something weird. Stacy, what are you playing with? Let me see it. Where did you get these? Johnny gave it to me. It was the keys to a Ford truck and a bottle of cologne. Apparently, this kid thought since he couldn't give her the diamond ring, he would just take his dad's car keys and cologne and give it to her instead. One day, this guy was just chilling at his house when his grandpa comes up and asks, "Hey there, buddy, I just wanted to ask if you wanted to play some chess with me. I think it'd be fun." Ugh, Grandpa, chess is so boring. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna play on my phone, okay? Okay. Maybe next time. Well, 2 weeks later, his grandpa was on a roof, cleaning out the gutters, when he accidentally fell off the roof. His grandpa passed away that day, and to this day, this kid still wishes he would have played chess with his grandpa. The worst things teachers have done. One day in elementary school, this girl was sitting in her class. She had asthma, and her asthma was acting up, so she was using her inhaler. Okay. Anyway, 2 plus 2 is... 2 plus 2 is 4, that's right, yeah. So, and 3 plus 3 is... Jessica, please. Are you kidding me? Apparently, the teacher couldn't teach because this girl using her inhaler was too distracting. So this is what she did. Give me that. I'm gonna put this in the office. Whenever you want to use it, you have to go to the office to use it, okay? Well, the next day, in that same class, that same girl was having trouble with her asthma again. So she asked, "Miss, can I go to the office? I need to use my inhaler really bad." "Not right now, Jessica. We're in the middle of a very important lesson, okay?" She had a full-blown asthma attack. To the point where the paramedics were called, and she had to be taken to the hospital. That teacher was fired the next day. This school is doing too much. Person that shared this story went to a Catholic middle school with a dress code and everything. A part of that dress code was that students had to wear a tie every single day. "Good morning, everyone. Get to class. Come on, come on. Kevin, where's your tie?" And if somebody wasn't wearing a tie, they would get a detention, Kevin. You have a detention. Well, this school took this rule a little too far. There were a lot of kids that would walk home from school every day, and they wanted to extend this rule. They said,
"If you're a student that walks home, your tie must remain on until you get to your house."
Which is weird, but okay, no one's watching. Wrong. The principal hired people to stand on the main road, checking to make sure these kids who walked home had their ties still on. And if they didn't have their tie on when they were walking home, they would get a detention. That is the craziest thing I have ever heard. Secrets people are taking to the grave. When this person was 14 years old, his great uncle Jack was staying at his family's house. Well, one day, the only people in the house was this kid and his uncle. Well, apparently Uncle Jack had a bit too much to drink, and he fell down the stairs. He was bleeding out. Well, this kid heard the noise and checked to see what happened. That's when he saw his uncle laying on the ground bleeding. He wanted to call the ambulance right then and there, but he passed out at the sight of blood. He woke up 30 minutes later and immediately called an ambulance. However, it was too late. Uncle Jack had already passed away. Rest in peace, Jack. Weird things that happened at a friend's house. When this kid was 9 years old, he was hanging out at his friend's house when he had to go to the bathroom. Number 2. Couple minutes later, his friend's dad went in the bathroom. He then came out and said this, "Alrighty, we have a problem. Kyle, did you take a poop in my bathroom?" Yeah, I did." "Now, why in God's name would you do that?" "Because I had." "Do you know how disrespectful that is? In my toilet. If you had to take it, you should have gone to your own house." "But sir, I had to go to the bathroom." "I don't care. I'm calling your mom right now and I'm telling her you are never allowed here ever again." "Hi, Mrs. Stevens. This is Mr. Johnson. Your son is disgusting and I hate him."
What? I'm so confused.
This teacher is the worst. When he was 9 years old, he had a teacher that hated him. He was kind of a chubby kid, and one time he didn't do his homework and she flipped out. "This is your workbook. You're supposed to do homework in your workbook. I don't see your homework." She was flipping through it so hard she ripped a bunch of pages. But she wasn't done. She then, in front of the entire class, started screaming at him even more. You know what, Kyle? You're probably too busy stuffing your face with sandwiches and Twinkies that you didn't have time to do your homework. You're so fat. She then made him go to the back corner of the classroom and stand there with his hands straight up in the air until class was over. Hands up, Kyle. He went home and told his parents what happened. The next day, they came into school with him. They went to her room and asked why she did that. To which she replied, I'm sorry, I don't recall that happening. I think your kid might be making it up. I'm sorry. When this kid was in 4th grade, his glasses broke. Oh man. But it didn't really matter because in most of his classes he sat in the front row, so he could still see. Well, after a few days of going to class without his glasses, one of his teachers said, Kyle, I see you still don't have your glasses. Are they still broken? Yeah, but it's fine. I can still see the board. The thing with this teacher though was that she would always write assignments on the board for students to work on during class. She would never explain the assignments. Students would just read the board and then do their work. But anyway, she said, Kyle, it's been 4 days now. Your parents should have gotten you new glasses at this point. You're sitting in the back of the class. Okay. All right, so this is what needs to be done before the end of class, okay? Get to work. Oh, I can't see it. What the heck? Sit down, Kyle. Hey, Stacy, can you tell me what the board says? Yeah, it says, Stacy, don't you dare tell him what it says. I'm teaching him a frickin' lesson. I hate my life. Dumbest rules parents made their kids follow. When this person was growing up, his parents wouldn't allow him to use public restrooms at all. Even on trips to Disney World. If he had to go to the bathroom, they had to go all the way back to the hotel, which is bogus. When he was in elementary and middle school, at the start of every year, his parents would call the teachers and told them to let them know if their son ever used the public bathroom. If he was caught using the public bathroom at school, his parents would punish him when he got home. Growing up, there was no place he could safely use the bathroom other than his home without getting in trouble. When he got to high school, the parents tried the same thing. They called the teachers and said, let us know if he ever uses the public restroom. The teachers in high school thought that was weird, and they never followed through. So he got away with using the bathrooms in high school. But it wasn't until college where this kid was finally allowed to use any public bathroom he wanted without fear of being punished by his crazy parents. When this girl was in elementary school, she got in trouble for using a big word. Something upset her in class, and she used the word vexed, which means annoyed, frustrated, worried. Well, the teacher overheard and yelled at her. The teacher said that she should have just used the word angry. Well, her teacher then sent a note to her mom explaining the situation. Her mom marked the teacher's note for errors in red pen and sent it back to her with a note that read, when you can use proper English, you can correct hers. Legendary mom. The worst Christmas gifts ever. When this girl was 15 years old, she really wanted a dog. And her parents knew it because she was always asking them if they could get one. Well, one Christmas morning, after most of the presents were unwrapped, her parents went downstairs to grab one last gift for her. Oh my gosh, I wonder what this is. Her parents then came upstairs carrying a giant box with holes in it, almost as if there was a living creature inside. Okay, are you ready? Oh my god, I think I know what this is. I think I know what this is. Convinced there was a live puppy inside this Swiss cheese looking box, she unwrapped it, super excited to meet her new pet. But as she opened the box, she saw a stuffed animal dog that when you squeezed its paw, it barked. What is this? You said you wanted a dog. Why would you put holes in the box? I hate you. When this kid was in 6th grade, he asked his teachers if he could get paid to clean up gum from under desks and chairs. They said sure. So he was getting paid $5 every time he cleaned up gum. Well, the principal found out about this and asked him if he could clean up the gum from under the tables in the lunchroom. He said sure. It was a nice little side hustle, but then he had a brilliant idea. He was gonna start selling gum. So he started buying these packs. This one's only $5 from Target. It's 8 packs with 15 pieces of gum in each pack. That's 120 pieces of gum, and he sold each piece of gum for 50 cents. He was making $60 after selling one whole thing of gum. But here's the kicker. Every time he sold somebody a piece of gum, he asked them when they were done with the gum if they could put it underneath desks or the lunchroom tables. So he would have to clean up the gum more often and make even more money. His teacher said he has a thing he does whenever he loses control of his class. He grabs a stapler and says, anyone want to put a staple in my hand? The physical pain would be nothing compared to how I feel right now, when all I want to do is help you guys reach your full potential, but you don't care. Somebody then usually doubts his seriousness and says, yeah, I'll put a staple in your hand. That's when he walks up to their desk, puts the stapler down, and puts his hand down and says, do it. The students usually give a nervous giggle and they pretend to do it, but they never do. Well, one day he did this little stunt again, and a student was like, "Yes, mister, I'll put a staple in your hand." He brings a stapler over, puts his hand down, and the student actually staples his hand. He didn't freak out or anything. He calmly looked at his hand, asked, "Did that really happen?" Pulled the staple out while blood trickled down, and he said, "Are we done? Can I go back to teaching now?" All the students were completely shocked. The kid that did it felt so bad that he stapled his own hand at the end of class. People who were legends in their high school. There was this one teacher at this one high school that never let anybody use the bathroom, no matter how many times they asked. There was this one girl in class who hated this teacher, and the teacher hated her. Every day, she would always ask if she could use the bathroom, and the teacher said no. Well, on the last day of school, this girl was in this teacher's class. She asked the teacher twice if she could use the bathroom, and the teacher said no. This is what happened when she asked for the third time. "Miss, can I please use the bathroom? I really have to go." "I swear to God, if you ask me one more time, no, you may not." "Okay, fine, but just remember, you did this." The girl then stood up, stared at the teacher, and peed her pants. She got in big trouble, but she went home and told her parents about this, and her father was a urologist. Her father called the school, and this teacher got into huge trouble. The dumbest rules parents had their kids follow. When this girl was in high school, her parents had this very strict rule. "All right, love you guys, I'm going to my friend's house." "Okay, don't forget the rules." "I won't." The rule was this: she had a curfew every night, and for every minute she was late after curfew, she would be grounded for a week. So if she was 2 minutes late coming home, she'd be grounded for 2 weeks. Well, one day she was stuck behind a train. Come on, come on, come on. It was one of those long trains. You know what I'm talking about. Well, it was passing for 10 minutes, causing her to be 10 minutes late, Marissa. Do you know what that means? You were 10 minutes. Honey, please, I got this. No. 10 minutes late is what? 10 weeks. Excuse me? 10 weeks. 10 weeks. Very good. You're grounded for 10 weeks. Now get to your room. Oh, God, I hate them so much. Stupid rule. What the heck? What's a pineapple doing in here? When this kid was in middle school, he bought a shoe customization kit, and he was skilled enough to design stuff like this on people's shoes. Well, he decided to start a business. He charged kids $10 for him to customize their shoes. But more and more people started getting interested in this, and business started booming. So he raised his price to $50 per customization. Things were going great, and he was running this business for 3 months, until one day the vice principal walked in on him in the bathroom designing some shoes. The vice principal saw him and told him that he had to ask the principal if he could continue. Well, the principal said, "Yeah, for sure, keep going." And he did. He continued this business for 7 months. But then one day, a school board official was visiting the school, and the school board official caught him in the bathroom as well. He was then shut down completely. In total, he made about $11,000. That's insane. Here's a true story about a high school football player. The person that shared this said that the quarterback of their football team was very popular. What's up?
What up, bro?
Hey, Billy, what's cracking, buddy?
Butt cracks.
Stacy, looking nice.
Oh my God, stop.
Oh, Carla. Yeah.
Hey, you're stupid.
The girls loved him. The boys loved him. Everyone loved him. He was the most popular kid at the school. He never did his homework, and he failed all his tests, but his teachers passed him anyway, because he is the reason the football team has won so many games. He continued this reign of high school royalty. He applied to colleges, and he got full ride football scholarship. I also want to mention that this guy was kind of a bully. You're a loser. You're a loser. You're definitely a loser. I know. Well, 2 weeks after college started, he was sitting in his dorm alone, eating an apple, when he choked. And he died. Black markets kids ran in their schools, a follower submission. When he was in middle school, he started his own lottery. He sold jars of Play-Doh for $3 each, and each Play-Doh was stuffed with money. It was either a $1 bill, a $5 bill, a $10 bill, or a $50 bill. The 50 was the jackpot. Business was very slow at first. He only made a few sales because nobody ever won the big prize. And that's because what they didn't know is he only put $1 bills in the Play-Doh jars. There was an occasional 5 or 10 in there, but never the 50. So he had an idea to get the word out. He put $50 of his own money into a Play-Doh jar. He then gave it to his friend and paid him to open the jar in front of a large group of people. Well, he did, and everyone saw it, and they were hyped. That's when they knew this business was legit. Business became booming. Everyone at the school was playing the lottery. In total, he made around $700, but the principal quickly found out and he was shut down. You gotta respect the hustle. The craziest things kids did in school. One day at one elementary school, a couple classes of students were outside. The fire department drove one of their fire trucks to the school and was letting the kids look around and ask them questions. Well, this one kid was getting a little bit too curious. The firefighters were earlier demonstrating the fire hose, but they had set it down for a second. This kid went up to the fire hose, picked it up, and started blasting people with it.
I think you broke my leg. Good heavens.
He was holding on for dear life, spraying students and teachers, knocking teachers down and causing students to fly halfway across the yard. He was eventually stopped, but this kid definitely went for it. This kid had a rough day. He was in class one day and the teacher was teaching a lesson. He was in a pretty good mood this day, so he was talking to his friend about what they were gonna do during the weekend. So you're gonna come to my house at 5 p.m. on Friday. I have a bunch of cheese in my fridge and we can build that sculpture you were saying. Billy! Quiet down. I just can't wait for the cheese. Billy! I just asked you to quiet down. Go out in the hallway right now. No, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Go out in the hallway right now. Keep in mind that the door of the classroom has a window on it. Well, a couple minutes later, the students in this classroom noticed this kid peeking into the window. He was standing there for a good while before the teacher noticed this. When she saw him, she went over to the door and closed the curtain so he couldn't look in anymore. You could hear this kid crying out in the hallway. Believe it or not, this kid went to school administration and explained what happened. 3 days later, that teacher was fired. That seems a little harsh. During recess in 5th grade, this girl was on the playground when a boy who had a crush on her came up to her. Hey, Stacy. Hi, Kyle. I just want to tell you that I really like you and I want to know if you want to be my girlfriend. At that moment, she wasn't sure what to say. She thought this kid was nice, but she didn't like him like that, so she had to think of an excuse. There was a tree right next to them. This is what she said. No. This tree is my boyfriend. She then hugged and kissed the tree and walked away. She felt pretty bad. And later during recess, she saw that kid crying and kicking the tree that she told him was her boyfriend. Stupid tree. I hate you, tree. He thought this is how babies were made. This guy shared a story of how in junior year of high school, his friend had no idea how babies were made. This is what he thought would happen. He actually believed that when you got married and you and your wife were ready to have a baby, you would take your wife to a hospital, they would put you in a room, and you would pee on your wife. And then bingo! Your wife was pregnant. His friend was like, no dude, that's actually super messed up. He then educated his friend on how exactly babies are conceived. Needless to say, his friend was incredibly embarrassed. In one middle school, this kid asked his teacher if he can go to the bathroom. Can I go to the bathroom, miss? She said, no, you just went 10 minutes ago. Well, this made him very angry. And right after she said no, he grabbed his sharpened pencil and stabbed it right into his hand. How about now? Can I go to the bathroom now? Yeah. Yeah, you can. And go to the nurse too, and then to the principal's office. His parents were called, and he most likely had to go talk to a therapist. When this guy was in high school, the mascot was a bulldog. Well, one day, this kid was driving around doing donuts in the high school parking lot when he accidentally ran into the statue of the bulldog. The crash knocked the bulldog off its platform, and this kid freaked out. God. Oh my God, oh my God. He looked around and nobody saw what happened, so he got out of his car, picked up the bulldog, and shoved it into his trunk. He then drove to a bridge and tossed the bulldog into the water, disposing of the evidence. I'm so sorry. He never told anybody about this. It was a huge deal at the school with an entire investigation. It wasn't until 15 years later when he was having beers with his brother that he confessed. His brother was amazed that he was able to keep this secret for this long. This girl's dad had recently passed away and she was sitting in class when one of her classmates started to make fun of her. What's it like having a dead dad? Shut up. And the way he died too is just super embarrassing. I said shut up. Jeez, I know your dad's dead, but don't take it out on me.
Mrs. She hit me with her science book.
I know, I saw. And you deserved it, Kayla. Jessica? Yes. Do it again. day, this college student emailed her professor to tell her that she was sick and couldn't come to class. The professor did not believe her at all, so she responded to her student with an email that said, "Kate, you know if you're going to lie about why you aren't in class, you could at least be a bit more original than 'I'm sick.' Geez, if I told my boss that back in the old days, she'd have dragged me into work and made me sleep there." The crazy part is, the student was actually sick. In fact, she had just been diagnosed with cancer, and she was feeling sick from all the chemo. I bet she felt real stupid after that. At this one British high school, after gym class every day, people would notice change and stuff missing from their lockers and their pockets. Well, one day, this kid really wanted to find out who was doing this, so he turned his phone camera on record and put it in his pocket. After gym class, when all the other students were noticing they had stuff missing, he checked his camera, and he caught the thief red-handed.
Alrighty, what do you have in here?
Apparently, the girl that had been stealing from everyone was from a very rich family. She was even a successful child actor who starred in a bunch of TV shows. So why was she stealing change from people? Who knows? But like I said, she was caught, and she got into serious trouble. One day during class in middle school, this kid saw a thermos in the back of the classroom. Turns out it was the teacher's, but he did not know this at the time. He then goes to the bathroom with the thermos. He then comes back, the teacher sees him and says, "Oh, you found my thermos, thank you so much. You can just put it on my desk." And he does. He then walks out of the room without saying a word. The teacher opens the thermos and is incredibly confused and disgusted. Apparently, this kid took a side of her thermos. At one middle school, there was a student who would later be known as Cheeseburger Kid, and here is why. One day, right before lunch, he left the school. He walked around the school and found an area of the building that would be easy to climb. Perfect. He then scaled the building and got on the roof. Now, the cafeteria at this school had skylights, windows that looked to the sky. Once he was on the roof, he made his way over to one of the skylights above the cafeteria. He pulled a brick out of his backpack and then he jumped down. The cafeteria was selling cheeseburgers, and his plan was to steal all of them and escape.
Hey, somebody stop that kid!
He even punched a lunch lady. "You stop right now! You stop right now!" Finally, the police show up and grabbed him. He bit the police officer's hand, and then he went to juvie, never to be heard of again. There was this one teacher at this one high school that never let anybody use the bathroom, no matter how many times they asked. There was this one girl in class who hated this teacher, and the teacher hated her. Every day, she would always ask if she could use the bathroom, and the teacher said no. Well, on the last day of school, this girl was in this teacher's class. She asked the teacher twice if she could use the bathroom, and the teacher said no. This is what happened when she asked for the third time. "Miss, can I please use the bathroom? I really have to go." "I swear to God, if you ask me one more time, no, you may not." "Okay, fine, but just remember, you did this." The girl then stood up, stared at the teacher, and peed her pants. She got in big trouble, but she went home and told her parents about this, and her father was a urologist. Her father called the school, and this teacher got into huge trouble. This high school made a huge mistake. All of the boys' bathrooms at this one high school were shut down by the school because somebody was stealing toilet paper. So they closed down the bathrooms until the person who was stealing toilet paper turned themselves in. Well, that's not fair to the other students. For about a week, the boys' bathrooms were closed, and the boys were getting very upset by it. How can they lock the bathrooms? That's super unfair to us. What if I had to poop? I have to poop right now. Me too, I can't take this anymore. I've been holding it in every single day. It can't be good for me. Boys, I have an idea. Everyone here holding your poops. After lunch, at exactly 1:15 p.m., stand on your desks and take a dump right there. If we all do it, we can't get in trouble. Spread the word. The second the clock hit 1:15, this is what happened. A total of 25 dudes pooped on their desks in the middle of class. The teachers were horrified. They tried to get them in trouble, but they could do nothing about it because the bathrooms were locked down. The school actually got into huge trouble for denying people bathroom privileges, and the poop incident went down in history. She's taking the secret to the grave. The person that shared this story said that for a few months in high school, she lived with her grandma. And one day, while she was walking to her grandma's house from school, she saw this giant statue of a turtle in one of her grandma's neighbor's lawn. She said she doesn't know why, but she decided to take that turtle out of the lawn and bring it to her grandma's house and put it in her lawn. Well, a few days later, an older woman showed up to her grandma's house and she was pissed. Carol! Janine, why are you yelling? What is the problem? Well, the funniest thing happened. My turtle statue went missing a few days ago, and here it is, sitting in your lawn. That woman was the owner of the turtle that this girl stole it from.
God, what did I do?
Oh, that's your turtle. Janine, it just showed up in my lawn. I promise you, I didn't take it. Yeah, right. Oh, come off it, Janine. I wouldn't take your turtle. It just showed up here. You bitch. The turtle statue was returned to its rightful owner. However, that lady died 3 days after this incident happened. And the granddaughter, the person that shared this story, still feels guilty. She thinks the death of her grandma's neighbor is somehow her fault. Here's what happens when you bully the wrong kid. I'm so angry today, I want to bully somebody so bad. Oh, there's Kyle, my first victim of the day. Hey Kyle, you're such a loser. First off, brush your teeth. You dirty mouth, bucktooth idiot. Hey, no, your mom's so dumb she washes paper plates. And you're more useless than the water in a ketchup bottle. Caterpillar eyebrows, picture frame, hugging creep. Hey, don't talk to him like that. Shut up, Stacy. You're like the end piece of a loaf of bread. Everyone touches you, but nobody wants you. If your parents got divorced, would they go back to being brother and sister? I hope everything you've ever loved dies slowly in your arms. This school had the dumbest rule ever. This one high school had a rule where students were not allowed to have facial hair at all, not even stubble. It got to the point where every day a teacher would walk around the lunchroom with a shaving cream bottle and a razor, doing stubble checks. And if he saw any student with facial hair at all, he would shave it right then and there. You. What? That mustache has gotta go, my friend. But sir, you have a mustache too. Well, I'm a teacher, so it doesn't matter. And you know the rules. Now pucker up, Buttercup. That caterpillar's gotta go. Goodbye, old friend. This went on for years. Well, one day, this teacher accidentally cut someone's lip really bad, and this rule had to change. Hey Kyle, I saw you school supply shopping with your mom last week. That's so lame. At least my mom is still in my life. Where's your mom? Oh, that's right. She left you guys and started a family with the mailman. I swear to God, I don't blame her. Look at you. If your life was a video game, you would be an NPC, bro. Shut up. You know what, dude? You know what? You're the reason aliens won't talk to us. That is not true. No, watch. I bet you money. The day you die, they're gonna be like, oh, nice, dude. He's gone. We can finally go down there. That guy sucked.
Hey, boss. Yes, the human they called Chad, he died today. He has a tiger attack. All right, finally, right? That guy sucked. All right, bring the ship down to Earth. Let's go say hi.
My favorite comebacks. Come on, loser. Come on, Kyle. Keep up. This is gym class, not nap time. You know what, Chad? Screw you, man. Excuse me? Yeah, screw you, man. You're mean for no reason. Shut up. It's because you're a loser, you're ugly, you're slow, and you're lazy. No one here likes you, bro. Nobody. If you keep bullying, man, you're gonna regret it, I promise you. Oh, really? Yeah, what are you gonna do? You gonna punch me? No, I'm gonna slap you. Oh, you're gonna slap me? Oh my God, I'm so scared. He's gonna slap me, guys. But my slap is different. Oh yeah, how? Because I'm gonna slap you so hard that my hand will be recognized at graduation. Oh, shut Stacy Curtin. Kyle Johnson. Kyle Johnson's hand.
Slap Chad!
The people have spoken. Chad, get up here.
No. Oh.
Now. Who do you think's the biggest loser at our school? Definitely Kyle. Hey bro, I heard that. Good. You're a loser. You think I'm a loser? Yeah, man, you literally have zero riz. First of all, that's completely wrong. Hey, Stacy. Hey, what's up, Kyle? I just wanted to say that yesterday, your presentation in history class was amazing. Like, I was mind blown, and your hair looks awesome today. Oh my gosh, thank you, Kyle. Text me? Yeah, for sure. That doesn't mean anything. Watch, I can do it too. Hey, Carla. Shut up, Chad. What the heck? I'm the coolest kid in school. That is so false. A literal house plant is cooler than you. Oh, funny joke, dude. What plant is that? Carlos. Hey, what up, Carlos?
What's up, bro? I've been chilling. You be easy now.
Crazy things people did as kids. When this kid was 10 years old, he was riding his bike around his neighborhood. When he accidentally ran into a fence, flying off his bike, slamming face first into the ground. His nose was cracked, and it was bleeding everywhere. He walked his bike back to his house. When he walked inside, his dad saw his terribly messed up nose and said, "Oh my God, son, who did that to you?" And instead of him saying he crashed his bike, he said this: "It was Greg." Now, it obviously wasn't Greg. Greg was the biggest bully at the school. Get in the car now. And they drove to Greg's house. How can I help you? Yeah, is your son Greg home? There you are, come here. If you ever mess with my son again, you are going to wish you've never been born. You like mayonnaise, kid? I said you like mayonnaise? I hate mayonnaise. Well then watch your back, buddy, because I got jars of it in my pantry. What did I do? Here's how to know if somebody's watching you. Have you ever been sitting in class and just felt like somebody behind you was staring at you? Well, this is what you do. You yawn. Yawning is contagious, so if you yawn while someone's looking at you, they will yawn as well. So what you do is you yawn, and then you quickly look around, and whoever is yawning, that's the person who was looking at you. This is how it would go down. Chad, Stacy, I see yourself. Oh my God. Do you want to learn how to lucid dream? A lucid dream is a dream in which you know you are dreaming and you can do literally whatever you want in this dream. But it's kind of a mysterious thing and it can be kind of difficult. But this app makes it incredibly easy. It's called Yoru X. They have a ton of tools, including a list of lucid dreaming techniques and how to do them. There's also a community of people that post their dreams on the app. They have a sleep tracker. They have their own AI that you can ask literally everything and anything about lucid dreaming and they will tell you. My favorite part is the AI Dream Image Generator. You type in an image that you remember from your dream and it will generate what that image looks like. For example, in one of my dreams, I was in this big open field and in the middle of the field was Abraham Lincoln sitting on a chair. So I typed it in and this is what they showed me. Pretty accurate to what I remember in my dream. Tips to help you have your first lucid dream. A ton of people have asked me, how do you do it? Here are 2 steps that will help you. Number 1 is keeping a dream journal. Whenever you wake up from a dream, write down every single thing you remember about that dream. Try to do it every single night. This will increase your self-awareness and also increase the chances of having a lucid dream. The next one, and this one's very important, do reality checks. Multiple times a day, take a second and truly question your surroundings. See if anything's out of place. Try to determine if you're in a dream. Some reality check examples are trying to put your finger through the palm of your hand. If it goes through, you're dreaming. Or plug your nose and try to see if you can still breathe. If you can still breathe, you're dreaming. I'm also going to recommend an app that's incredibly helpful. It's called Yoru X. The main feed is a bunch of people sharing their dreams. There's also a feature called Dream Journal, where you can literally log your dreams in this app. And you can set it up so the app will remind you to do reality checks. There's also tips and tricks. It's incredibly helpful. If you want this app, just go right here to get it. Interesting facts about lucid dreams. As you may know, a lucid dream is a dream, but you know you are dreaming and you can do whatever you want. Like fly, create entire worlds, cities, talk to anybody you can imagine. I talked to Abraham Lincoln one time. Well, some people are so good at lucid dreaming, they claim that their lucid dreams feel more real than their actual life. Scientists have suggested that you can use lucid dreaming to improve actual skills in your real life, like public speaking, talking to your boss, confronting a bully. Some people have even improved their football skills in a lucid dream. There's so much more to this, and everyone can learn it. It's a skill, but where do you start? This app called Yoru X has everything you need to learn. Go here, and then here to get it.
আমি চাইনি তোমার মন খারাপ হোক।
এইটা এখন আমাকে বিশ্বাস করতে হবে। তোমার ভাইয়ের যে একটা বন্ধু আছে না অয়ন ভাই, উনি অনেক চালাক আছে, অনেক স্মার্ট। এই আপু 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 শুনো শুনো শুনো, তুমি রাগ করলা?
তুমি যদি একটু পড়ো।
আপনাকে ঈদের শুভেচ্ছা।
ধন্যবাদ।
তোপো দাঁড়া।
মেয়েটা দেখছিস?
কোন মেয়েটা?
তোদের বাসা দোতলায় আসছে।
মা, মোম দিয়ে যাও না। আরে আসতেছি রে বাবা। আপনার গান শুনে ছাদে আসলাম। আপনি গিটার বাজান বল।
কি দিল এটা? 100 টাকা? আমি তো চাইছিলাম।
তোর মন খারাপ এটা তুই কি আসার আগেই জানতুই না আসার পর জানছোস?
সাদা ওড়না, কপালে ছোট্ট একটা টিপ, রোদের আলো।
এদিকে আয়, তুই আয়। আরে
আজ বেলাতে তোমার সুরে সুরে।
এই বিকেলে মাঠে আসবি তো? ফয়সাল আসছিল, ঈদের পরে কক্সবাজার যাওয়ার প্ল্যান করতেছে।
আমাকে সালাম করলে আমি দিতে পারি।
দেখা যাবে। Recent and interesting experience in this country. Bangladesh is land of river, so it's not. আপনি গতকাল রাতে আর্জেন্টিনাকে সাপোর্ট করছেন। আপনি না
তোমার জন্য।
জানেন, আমার না উপহার দিতে খুব ভাল লাগে।
আর উপহার পেতে?
সেটা তো আরো ভাল লাগে।
যে বাচ্চাদের হাতে এর বেশি টাকা দেয়া যাবে না। তাছাড়া তোকে তো কয়েকদিন আগে গিটার কিনে দিল।
আচ্ছা শোন না, মন কি ভালো হয়েছে? গান সুন্দর তোমার।
ও, আমি তো আগে গান শিখতাম। কেমন কেমন? বোকা বোকা।
দেখ রূপা, আমার ভাইকে নিয়ে একটাও বাজে কথা বলবে না।
আপনাকে আরেকটা কার্ড দেখাই। এ দেখেন, সুন্দর না?
আমি 330 টাকা ম্যানেজ করছি, আর 170 টাকা ম্যানেজ করতে আমার একদিন সময় লাগবে।
330 টাকা
আমার জন্য একটাই নেন, আমিও 500 টাকা দিব।
নেবেন?
হ্যাঁ
ঠিক আছে।
আমি তোরে বলতে পারি, এইরকম মেয়ে আমাদের মহল্লায় নেই। আরে মহল্লা কি,
দেখি সিঙ্গাপুর থেকে আসে নাকি?
ইসলামপুর থেকেই আসে, কিন্তু জিনিসটা তো স্পেশাল এবং খরচও বেশি।
আমি ওদের নিচ থেকে দেখছিলাম, ছাদে আসছিল, বেগুনি রঙের একটা কামিজ পরা।
কাগজ টাগজ দিয়ে। এই, তোর পড়াশোনা নাই? হ্যাঁ
মা,
আরে এটা তো কমন জিনিস, আর্জেন্টিনা হারছে না, ও তো আর্জেন্টিনার সাপোর্টার।
আসমানের চাঁদ লয়া এরকম বাসর ঘরে আহে, তখন রাজা বাচ্চা গুলা হান।
তুমি পোশাক কখনই চেঞ্জ করে আইবা, নালে কইলাম আমি তোমার আমার লগে থাকতে দিব না। আইসা আলগা খানদানি রেওয়াজ দেখে।
তোমার কত বড় সাহস, তুমি আমার মাথায় বাড়ি দিবা? এই আমি কি করছি? বাজান কি এইটা কাম করছে নি? আপনার মতো হীরার টুকরা একটা পোলারে লাথি দিয়ে বাইর করে দিচ্ছে।
দিমু একটা ঠুয়া, আমি পারুম না। এই বেটা, এই আমগো খানদানে পূর্বপুরুষেরা
তো কি টিপে করলা?
লাগলে হেডাও টিপা দিমু। তুমি বরং আমার হাতটা ব্যথা করতেছে, হাতটা টিপা দাও।
আরে এখানে হান্দাবার লাগছস কে? একটু ওদিকে নে না। তোমার বিছানা আমি ভিজায় দিছি গা।
এটা তুমি কি করছো?
কি করছি, ঘুমাইবা না?
তোমার পূর্বপুরুষের মাথায় কি সমস্যা ছিল আব্বা?
নাটকের পর কয় কি শুনছো? ওই বেটা
আব্বা জান আপনার পোলারে এখন জিগান তো রুটি গরম না ঠান্ডা?
বাপরে বাপ, শুনছনি একেবারে ডর দেয় তো বলে কুচি কুচি করে কাটতো হয়েছে। আপনার ডর আপনার পকেটে থুয়া দেন।
খানদানটা আমার কত উচ্চা দেখতে হইব না?
দেখতেছি তো উঁচা ভি আর লম্বা ভি